Welcome to No Fabs. Yes boys, good morning. Welcome to today's job, a BMW 440i. Now we're doing a common mod on this. Everyone in the world's done it. It's nothing new. We're doing a double res delete. Now this is a 2018, I think. I'll just check. Sorry, not a 2018, it's a 2019. So this is an OPF or PPF, GPF, whatever you want to call it. They all mean the same thing, gasoline particulate filter, all that jazz. So that is fitted with a GPF essentially. So that kills all the noise on all these modern cars, C63s, any car with a GPF, majority of them sound absolutely toss. This one is included. So we are going to get the GPF out, we're doing the back res delete, we'll do you before, we'll do you an after, maybe even take it a drive if I've got time. I have got a busy day today, but if I have got time, I will run it up road for you, let you have a listen. But I've done these before, it makes a pretty substantial difference. I think a lot of you will enjoy the video and like it, and obviously it will be in the best interest of you if you've got the same car. So even though this is a 440i, the same applies for 240i, 140i, they're all the same engine, just a different body on the car. So if you've got a 140 or a 240 or a 440 or a 340, whichever, they're all the same. This will apply to you. Let's get cracking. Let's do your before. Also, what on earth is going off with these tips? Absolute wheelbarrows. Check these out. And what are those? That looks horrendous. I hate tips that stick out like that. I mean, I'm not knocking his car, but I'm guessing he probably likes them like that. But Jesus, looks like a wheelbarrow. Anyway, let's do a quick before, and then we'll get it up in air. So as you can hear, for a 440i, that sounds pathetic. It sounds pants, doesn't sound as good as the pre-GPF models. Let's sort it. Let's get it up, let's get cracking. Bike box is completely standard, which is good. That's exactly what we want. Center resonator is also intact. Again, that's what we want. And here's where the difference is on the newer ones to the older ones. So this is a 2019. Now this is actually a particulate filter and not a resonator. The resonator ones are just straight. So can you see how this one comes in at an angle? This is the easiest way to tell. If you're not sure if your car is a GPF model, look underneath. If the pipe comes into it at an angle like that, yours is a GPF model. Because if not, it comes round here and it looks very similar, except the pipe comes in straight, comes out straight. So yeah, this is definitely a particulate filter. So that's what we're removing today. We're going to be cutting it there, cutting it there. We'll be putting some oval pipe in place of that. We'll be chopping that out, piping that.
I want to be shortening them and pulling them in.
I'd like to be shortening them tips and pulling them in, but he must like them like that because it looks like they'd go in a ton more. In fact, no, they won't. They've got a little nipple on top there. Look what stops it going in. Well, they would go in if you chop that off.
Quick grind.
If you chop that off, they would go in. But anyway, that's not. You know what that is, guys? Not my problem. I'm not interfering with stuff what it's not booked in for. Not interfering with stuff where it's not booked in for. I'm just doing the job it's in for. Suppose we better get grinder out then, haven't we? Get cutting. The only thing of real concern I'm seeing is that I don't know what's gone off here. It looks like he might have hit something in road in past. You can see here how it's broke all tray. It's actually bent his exhaust hanger. Pretty bad, so that's the only concern I've got. It has had a wallop on road on something, but we'll try and straighten that out while we're doing what we're doing. That's that chopped off. Now for those of you who are not really familiar with this type of stuff, let me show you a few problems we're going to face. So one is that the pipe is oval. Now you're probably thinking, how on earth are we going to get oval tube and how are we going to bend it? Well, we'll get to that in a second. But here's what it looks like, inside look. So for those of you that are in doubt that it's not a particulate filter and it's still a silencer, I can guarantee you it's not. That is a particulate filter in there, and that's why these new ones that sound pants. So how are we going to get the oval tube and how are we going to bend it? Like this. Just like that. So what started as normal oval tube, I've actually pie cut it to the angle what we need. Now you might have noticed me earlier just before Connor cut it off, I did get the angle finder on there and I measured it. Now the angle was a 45 degree, which equates to pretty much exactly that. So Connor's going to tack these together now, then we are just going to have a little check, a little trial run, make sure it does match up to that on the car. If it does, then we'll get it welded in. Now, usually we do a lot of nice TIG welded jobs. On these, it won't be TIG welded, it will have to be MIG welded. The reason being, the oval tube doesn't perfectly match. I mean, it's pretty close, but it doesn't perfectly match, so it won't be TIGable. There'll be too much gaps, but I can make a nice job MIG welding it in there. And I will show you, I'm not scared. I'll show you what we get to at end result. Let Connor tack these up and we'll see if it fits. Hopefully you can see the vision now, starting to look like it will replace that. Now I have just tried it on car, it does fit, happy days. So I'm going to get all that welded up together now. I'm going to purge that, weld it up, and then we'll get it MIG'd on, move on to the next one. And that, boys and girls, is how you turn your BMW 440i GPF model from sounding like this to sounding like this. So there you go, as you can tell, massive difference, absolutely like night and day difference. When that's on camera, side by side like that, that should sound night and day difference. Let's take it for a little spin, see what it sounds like on road, shall we? Because apparently it's stage 1, 400 and some horsepower, he said. I can't remember what he said this morning, but it should go. Let's go and see what it's like on road. Also, I'll let you know if it drones and if it sounds tinny and all that stuff. I'll give you an insight of what it actually sounds like on road. Right, let's go and take it a little spin then, and let's answer a few myths, because I've seen a few myths on people commenting on this, about people doing it on forums and stuff, saying, oh, it makes your car drone or blah blah blah. So let's go and answer them myths, shall we? Let's go and see for ourselves, does this make your car drone? Because I've done loads of them before, but I've never actually test drove them, so let's go and see.
440 horsepower as well.
Is that what it said, 440?
Is that not what you said earlier?
It's 400, he definitely said 400 and something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it should be a goer, so
400.
We'll see.
What is it, B58?
B58 440 engine, so same engine as 140 and 240s. I think they do a 340, don't they? Yeah, so they're all the same engine, aren't they? Let's go and see what it's about. So just driving normally, I can't even really tell.
No.
It's fairly quiet still.
It's in sport mode.
So that's one question answered. Let's make sure it's in sport mode. Yeah, it's in sport mode. So that's one question answered. Will it be absolutely asbo when you're driving normal with your wife and kids in car? No. It doesn't sound hardly any different. Very quiet still. That's one question answered. When all these skip wagons and stuff get out of my way, we'll see what it sounds like with a bit of throttle on it. Feel slow. Too many things in the way. I've got a full tank of juice. Go for skeggy for the day. Definitely no slouch.
No.
That was 30 mile an hour gone pretty quick. It's no slouch at all. So in terms of exhaust though, like when we've done custom exhaust on these before, it's still fairly quiet, I'd have said, would you?
I don't even think that's loud at all.
It's not loud at all, is it? It's very quiet.
You could have, if you weren't listening for that, you wouldn't hear it.
I know, yeah. So, what, these are ZF box, aren't they? 8 speed. So it's currently sat a smidge under 80. We'll call it 73 for legal purposes. And there's absolutely no drone there whatsoever, none. Not even a burble, nothing. So that's another question answered. If you're going to do this modification on your car and you're worried it's going to drone, well, It doesn't. There's no drone whatsoever. So there is some legal implications though. Just bear in mind, gasoline particulate filter is part of your emission system. So technically, although the catalytic converter is still in place on this, technically the modification what we have carried out would be illegal. I mean, luckily we're not driving it on the road, we're on a track day today. So just bear that in mind. If you are wanting to use this on a UK road, this modification will not be legal for you. Bear that in mind. Also, MOT, most likely a failure. Again, bear that in mind. This may vary no matter where you are. This may vary wherever you are in the world. If you live in Mexico or whatever, then it might be different. But in the UK laws are, if you start removing or tampering with emissions equipment, it's no longer legal for road use. As I say, we are at Donington today, and we're just coming down back straight, and there's no drone whatsoever. You can be assured of that. Absolutely no drone on that exhaust. Oh, another question that I need to answer. Does your car need tuning to suit this option? I'm going to be honest with you guys, that's a question that I don't genuinely know the answer to. Now, on that particulate filter, there is no sensors, there's no temp sensors, there's no pressure sensors, there's no nothing. So whether or not this car will, well, the ECU will eventually realise that that particulate filter is no longer there and give you a warning light, I honestly, guys, I genuinely don't know the answer to that. Maybe some other B58 owners can jump in comments and let us know. Does it make a difference? Do you have to have it tuned? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So I don't want to say no or yes and it'd be wrong information, so I can't answer that question for you. You will have to find that out yourselves. My instinct's telling me no, because there's no sensors, there's no pressure pipes, no temp sensors. How would it know? How would it know it's gone? Unless there is a pressure pipe after the cat up at front of engine. I didn't look. There might be. If there's a pressure pipe after the cat, maybe that measures the back pressure from the exhaust. I don't know. I genuinely don't know the answer to that. So you will have to find out yourself. Let's try it in manual mode this time.
Oh my god.
You penis.
Tesla in front's done exactly the same role.
Well, that'll be that, won't it? Everyone's in my way, everyone's going slow, and we don't want to, but unfortunately, it is what it is. We're going to wrap that video up there, guys. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram, put my handle up here. I know I keep saying it in my videos, but give us a follow. Get my Instagram numbers up, blow it up for me, guys. Get me get my socials out there as well. But yeah, give us a follow on Instagram, give us a subscribe on YouTube if you like what you see. If you don't, feel free to move on to the next million videos on YouTube, and well, forget this video never happened, eh? Catch you in the next video, guys. Peace out. See you later.